Hey everyone, welcome back to Unlock English, the podcast where we break down big ideas, interesting books, and practical life advice using clear, natural English that helps you reach B1, B2, and beyond. I'm your host, Maddie. Today, we're taking a deep dive into one of the most famous nonfiction books of the past decade, Atomic Habits by James Clear. Now, if you've been feeling stuck in your English learning journey or in any part of your life, this episode is going to give you a brand new perspective. Before we jump into the main concept, let's unpack the title of the book. What does atomic habit actually mean? When most people hear the word atomic, they think of something giant like an atomic bomb or nuclear energy. But in science, an atom is the smallest possible unit of a chemical element. It's tiny. So, when James Clear talks about an atomic habit, he means two things. One, a habit that is tiny and simple, extremely small. Two, a habit that acts as a building block for massive change over time. Think of it like learning English vocabulary. Learning just one new phrase or verb today seems tiny, but hundreds of those tiny atoms put together build fluency. If you improve a skill by just 1% each day for a whole year, you don't just get 365%. You end up 37 times better by the end of 365 days. On the flip side, if you get 1% worse every day for a year, your skill drops almost to zero. This leads to a big problem that many language learners face. I called it the disillusionment phase, but James Clear calls it the plateau of latent potential. Let's define those words. Plateau. Plateau, it means a flat area where nothing seems to move up or down. Latent, it means existing but hidden or not yet visible. When you practice learning to English episodes every day for 2 weeks, you might feel like your English hasn't improved at all. You feel frustrated. You think, why am I doing this? Nothing is happening. Clear uses a great analogy to explain this. The ice cube. Imagine an ice cube sitting on a table in a cold room that is 25 degrees Fahrenheit. Or you start slowly warming the room 26 degrees, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31 degrees. The ice cube is still completely solid. Nothing has happened. Then the room hits 32 degrees. Suddenly, the ice begins to melt. Did the 1 degree jump do all the work? No. All the previous heat was stored inside the room. That is latent potential. Your effort isn't wasted. It's just stored energy. When you keep practicing English, you are heating the room. Don't quit before you reach 32 degrees. Now let's talk about how most people set goals and why James Clear thinks we do it backwards. Most language learners set outcome-based goals. An outcome is simply a result. I want to score 7 on the IELTS test, or I want to memorize 500 new words. There's nothing wrong with wanting a good result, but Clear argues that long-term behavior change happens at the level of identity, meaning who you believe you are. Look at the difference between these two statements. Person A, approach, outcome focused. Statement, I'm trying to learn English so I can pass the test. Result, stops practicing as soon as the test ends. Person B, approach, identity focused. Statement, I'm an English speaker who loves learning. Result, keeps practicing for life because it's who they are. When you treat your daily practice as proof of your identity, everything changes. Every single time you listen to a podcast, read an English article, or speak a sentence, you are casting a vote, making a choice that supports an idea for the type of person you want to be. You don't need a perfect accent today. You just need to cast a vote for being an English speaker. How do we build these atomic habits in real life? Clear gives us a framework called the 4 laws of behavior change. Every habit follows a 4-step loop. Cue, craving, response, reward. To build a good habit, you make it obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. Let's apply all four laws directly to your English routine. Law 1. Make it obvious. If a habit is hidden, you will forget to do it. Use an implementation intention, a fancy phrase for setting a specific time and place. Work statement. I will study English tomorrow. Obvious statement. I will listen to 10 minutes of an English podcast at 7:30 a.m. while I make my morning coffee. You can also use habit stacking, attaching a new habit onto an existing daily routine. After I brush my teeth at night, I will write one sentence in my English journal. Law 2. Make it attractive. We do things that we look forward to. Try temptation building, combining something you need to do with something you want to do. If you love watching YouTube videos about cooking, only watch them in English. You get the reward of watching cool recipes while practicing your listening skills. Law 3. Make it easy. Reduce friction. The human brain naturally follows the path of least effort. If you want to read English books, don't keep the book closed under a pile of papers on your desk. Leave it open right on your pillow. Clear also teaches the 2-minute rule. When starting a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. Don't tell yourself, I need to study English grammar for an hour. That creates too much friction. Tell yourself, I just need to open my English vocabulary app and review 3 words. Once you start, momentum usually takes over. Law 4. Make it satisfying. Our brains are wired to repeat behaviors that feel good immediately. Use a simple habits tracker, like crossing of a calendar day with a red marker every time you practice English. Seeing a chain of red crosses creates instant satisfaction. What about bad habits? Like scrolling mindlessly on social media for 2 hours in your native language when you plan to study? To break a bad habit, you simply invert the 4 laws. Make it invisible, make it unattractive, make it difficult, and make it unsatisfying. First, make it invisible. Put your smartphone in another room while studying. If you don't see it, the cue is gone. Number 2, make it unattractive. Reframe your mindset. Remind yourself that scrolling costs you, it steals your energy and delays your goals. 3. Make it difficult. Increase friction. Log off out of your social media accounts after every use, or set a long password so it takes work to log back in. Number 4, make it unsatisfying. Find an accountability partner. If I don't send you a voice message in English by 8 p.m. every day, I have to pay you $5. Suddenly, failing to practice has an instant downside. Let's recap the main takeaways from Atomic Habits for all of us here on Unlock English. Focus on 1% daily improvements. Small actions compound into huge results over time. Shift your identity. Don't just aim for a test score. See yourself as a daily English speaker. Use the 4 laws. Make your practice obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. Lower the friction. Start with 2-minute habits so you never skip a day. Enjoyed this episode, do me a quick favor. Share Unlock English with one friend who is also learning the language. Building habits together is always easier than doing it alone. Until next time, keep taking those tiny steps, keep unlocking your potential, and I'll catch you in the next episode. I'm Maddie. Bye bye.